Hi, my name is Jay Oza. I coach people win with their speeches, and I hope I can help you win with your speech too. I want to talk about why Donald Trump won the Republican nomination. And the reason I bring this up is not to annoy people, but to learn from what made him so successful. And I think there's a lot to learn here. It'll come down to three things: strategy, tactics, and timing. Okay, so let's say Donald Trump at some point decided, I want to run for the president. Obviously, the objective of running is to win. But how do you win? Everybody who entered wanted to win, but at the end, Donald Trump was the only one that ended up winning. First, he had to come up with a strategy. Now, I don't know whether he stumbled into this strategy or he had given a lot of thought to this, but I think his strategy was masterful. He basically came up with the first thing is the slogan. If you don't have the slogan, then you can't win. People need to remember the slogan. And his slogan was Make America Great Again. Perfect. It's hard to top that. And I think when you look at a strategy, I like to use my principle that I commonly use, the 60-30-10 principle. So this took care of the 60%. You got to get the slogan right. Make America Great Again. Because once you have that, then you can work with it. You can come up with a lot of different things underneath that slogan. Okay, so he got that. Perfect. Then comes the 30%. You need to find a problem that most of the people that are going to vote for you believe in already. Because let's face it, you need the votes to win. Okay. And here again, he came up with the perfect problem that a lot of people out there, especially in the Republican side, are really concerned about: the influx of illegal immigration. That took care of the 30%, identified the problem that most of the people in the Republican Party really are concerned about. And then the third one was the solution, which is to build a wall. And since he's a real estate magnate, he's a builder, he has credibility there. So he took care of the 60%, the slogan, the 30%, he identified the problem, and the 10% present the solution. Now you might say, well, what about other things like trade and all that? Those are there, but they're not that significant, because once you have one thing, that's what people are going to remember. And he identified the main problem within the Republican Party that people really cared about, which is the illegal immigration. So, yes, there's defense, terrorism, and all that, but at the end, it all came down to this one issue: illegal immigration. Okay, that was the strategy. But the strategy alone doesn't make you win. You need tactics. And here, Donald Trump was uniquely qualified because his tactic was to bring the message directly to the people. Because he doesn't have a party establishment supporting him, doesn't have a lot of great endorsements or anything like that. He has to pretty much do it on his own. And this is the part that I think a lot of people are going to study, because this is the part that I think we all need to learn from, especially if you're interested in public speaking like I am. There are four things that he did, which I think people will say that it's going to be hard to find anybody who will do this better than Donald Trump. And this is the reason why I think he won. Not strategy is fine, but his tactics, his ability to pull it off, is the genius behind his success. The first thing, he's excellent in giving a speech at rallies. He's very entertaining. He's a showman. He's honed this skill over the years, being in the limelight in the New York City tabloid media, also having his show, The Apprentice. So he knows how to work in front of the camera, how to create an experience, masterful at this. And even though a lot of us may not like his speeches because they're repetitive and there's nothing really in them, but from an entertaining point of view, they're pretty rich. So he knew how to pull that off, and including some of the messages about immigration, about trade, about terrorism, etc. Those are all sprinkled in there, but the main thing is he's very entertaining, and he can draw 20 to 30,000 people to attend his rallies. So that's number one, tactic. That was his thing, one thing. The second thing he was very effective is he has honed relationship with the major media, especially the cable media, the CNNs, the Fox News, MSNBC. It seems like he knows all of these people when he talks to them. And he's constantly in and on TV all the time. He's on morning, he's in the afternoon, he's at night, he's on weekends. He's constantly on all of these different channels, whether it's on Anderson Cooper, whether it's on Fox News with Bill O'Reilly, or Morning Joe on MSNBC, or on weekend shows, whether it's Meet the Press, or CBS, or CNN, Jake Tapper, everything. He's constantly giving interviews. And he's good at that. And he's honed this skill. Very effective. Don't think anybody did it. And a lot of people complain that he got a lot of free media, but hey, he was always making himself available. The third thing I think was something that we will see that no other candidate running for president has ever done as well, was his use of social media, specifically Twitter. He used Twitter as a way to stay in the news. See, here's the thing. You can do rallies maybe one, two, or three a day. After a while, you get tired. You can't do too many. Media doesn't cover every single rally that you're doing. Maybe the local media covers it. But he knows that election is run nationally. That's what makes presidential elections so different and difficult. And he knows that he can come on these channels like CNN, MSNBC, and that may give him 2 hours, 3 hours. He can't be on all the time, right? So he gets 3 hours, maybe 4 hours, 5 hours. He can do one in the morning, one in the afternoon, one in the evening. But you can't be on all the time because these people do have to run their other programs. And that's where the third part comes in. Social media. He can send out tweets almost every hour. So he's constantly in the news. It's almost like if he's not in the news, it's almost like you don't exist. And he understood this better than anybody. That today, you have to be in the news. Either it's on an hourly basis using social media. Is it like 3 times a day or twice a day, in the morning, in the evening, using being on the TV media, or doing a major rally in the evening, once a day, like that. So he understood the power of communication, but all the different ways of communicating effectively, and he integrated all of this. But there's a fourth thing that he did, which we have not seen. He basically said that people, once they got the strategy, they don't care about what you say. And he essentially used that to attack his opponents, ridiculing them, trash talking, making fun of them, doing anything possible to get attention. It didn't matter because he had the strategy right. And this fourth part of the tactics is when the media just never kept on keeping him in the news. That if you're just talking policies after a while, there's nothing new in that. How many times can you say that? I am going to build a wall. I am going to build a wall, even though he kept saying it over and over again. But what he did was he constantly was on attack. He would call Marco Rubio Little Marco. Media loved it. People loved it. Ted Cruz, Lying Ted. He had names for everybody. I think he insulted just about everybody that was running. And many thought that that was a recipe for disaster. In fact, it fueled his resurgence. It helped him get even more popular because it showed people that he's tough. He's willing to take on these people within his own party. So he had these messages that he's constantly bombarding the people with. And after a while, it was very difficult for others to gain traction on the media, on the social media, and the rallies. They just weren't getting that level of interest that he was. And after a while, he would keep letting people know, look how many people are coming to see me. Tactics wise, you have to say that strategy, excellent, tactics, excellent. Okay, but still you need the third part, timing. And this is something that I don't know whether he saw it, his genius of it, or what. The timing couldn't be any better. Because the Republican Party, he already must have sensed, was in a disarray. There is no real figure out there who really understands the people who are Republicans. And he saw it that there's nobody out there that gets it. There's that big gap between what you say, what the people want, and what you are saying and what you can actually do. What Donald Trump essentially figured out was, I'm going to go straight to the people and tell them like it is, and not try to sugarcoat anything. Tell them exactly the way they think it, the way they believe it, the way they feel it. And no other candidate was successful in doing that. He did it. And you have to give him credit for it. He realized that the Republican Party had lost control of its message. They could not deliver on all the promises. And he really realized something that other people out there have not realized, is that when a Republican Party suddenly attacks an existing president the way this Republican Party has, they have tried to undermine him in everything he's been doing, such as Obamacare. They weren't supporting it. They're not even passing legislation to declare war on ISIS, and in Supreme Court, all of these things. And at the same time, they can't deliver results to its people that they keep promising that they're going to do. They're going to repeal Obamacare. They can't do it. They can't do anything. So Donald Trump sensed that there was an opportunity here to go directly to the people, and the timing couldn't have been any better. And based on what we're seeing, he was right. He was right on the strategy, he was right with the tactics, and he was right with the timing. And again, let me just tell you, this is not a matter of saying that I like Donald Trump. I'm just giving you what I'm seeing. This is what we have observed. And if you don't observe this, then you don't understand why he won. It is worth looking into. So, let me know what you think, if you agree any part of what I'm saying. If not, let me know what you think, why he won. Because I think you have to give him credit. He put himself on the line. He took the message straight to the American people, and he won. And one other thing I'll mention is that a lot of people say, "Oh, he's a demagogue. He's a demagogue." I would be careful of that word, demagogue. You can only be a demagogue if people had no idea what you're doing, and they suddenly start doing what you want them to do. I think what we're seeing here is that a lot of the people already believe what Donald Trump believed. What Donald Trump did was he gave them the license, saying, I am going to say what you're already thinking, what you're believing, and what you're feeling. And that's why you see so many people attend his rallies. So I don't think he's a demagogue. I think it's a sign that the Republican Party has allowed this to happen, that they have not taken a strong position on many of the things that allowed Donald Trump to win, such as immigration, such as trade, such as Muslims, all of these things. The Republican Party has not really taken this message, and Donald Trump definitely saw an opportunity, and the timing was right. And now he's the Republican nominee for the President of the United States. Let me know what you think, and thank you for watching.